Welcome to your 2's review for the last home match of the regular season for Atlanta United 2. Inter Miami 2 comes to town. We'll have the highlights, have your post, and lay everything out for you as Atlanta United has just the one match remaining. We'll go over the standings in MLS Next Pro as well in the Eastern Conference, where Atlanta United 2 can be spoiler heading into the last week of the regular season, last weekend of the regular season, with the matchup coming up in Philadelphia. Officially, no dilly, no dally zone, as we always are when it comes to all of your programming, so we're going to dive right into it. Here's your first half highlights. Jason on the call here on the SDH Network.
Good low pass all the way across to Gallardo. Overlap from Edwards. He receives it in the 18. Drives in across. It's deflected back to Armas. Shot, blocked and deflected. Still there in the 6 until Jensen grabs it. Neri couldn't get on it. Armas tried to side foot that one through traffic. It got blocked and was bouncing around the top of the 6 until Cole Jensen claimed it. Drop back to Armas. Through to Gallardo. Turns it inside. Armas runs through an arm tackle. Armas to the left side to Chongqui. Chongqui low drive. Saved by Jensen. Nearly found Firmino. Think Chongqui was going for the cross there. Jensen had to deal with it either way as Nick Firmino was on the doorstep. Cutting into the 18. Multiple step overs. Cutting inside on the right foot. Carlton can't get the shot off. Leaves it for Okello. Back to the left side to Chongqui. Chongqui to the end line with the nutmeg, and he's bodied off of it on the far side. No call. Goal kick. Zeltzer Zubida cuts in on the right foot, puts in a cross, intended for Carmichael. That's going to skip all the way out on the far side. Goal kick in the 28th minute for Atlanta. Barton, Sesak, long ball over the top to pick out Carmichael. Hibbert comes for it, doesn't get there. Goal Miami. That quickly. It's a long ball down the right side from Sesak to Carmichael. Hibbert was a step slow to come for it, and Ryan Carmichael just pops it over the Atlanta goalkeeper and into the back of the net. 9th goal of the season for Ryan Carmichael, 7th assist for Nick Sesak. And after a great start for Atlanta United 2, they concede first in the 32nd minute. Matt Edwards wants to go in line. Does. Puts in the cross. Back post. Overhit. Chongqui will run it down on the left side. Chongqui back to Gallardo. He's on the left now. Cutting across to the right. Has Carlton ahead of him. Carlton tried to scoop it through to Gallardo. It's blocked to Firmino. Firmino cutting across on the right foot. Takes the shot. Jensen pushes it wide. Corner Atlanta. And Miami will try to clear with Basabe, and that will do it for the first 45.
So 1-0 at the break. What would happen in the second 45? Here's your highlights once again, courtesy of the SDH Network with Jason on the call. Atlanta United 2 trying to chase after an equalizer and come away with points at home for the last time in 2024.
Carmichael put it right at Jaden Hibbert. He makes a comfortable save. Throws it out to Firmino. Taps it around Martinez. Nick Firmino driving down the middle. Cuts it around Carmichael. He's got Gallardo to the left. Matias, top of the 18. Matias, Gallardo chips it to the backside over the bar. Chongqui, it slipped out of his hands on the throw. Went behind Carlton. Miami saw it first. They try to play through Atlanta's pressure. Armas blocks it, but it's back to Ferreira. Atlanta, Kawasmi, he's just decked by Zeltzer Zubida, who's on a yellow card. Zeltzer Zubida goes down because he knows that he might be in some big trouble if he doesn't. It was an unnecessary challenge on Ramsey Kawasmi. He's in a lot of pain. All the way across to the left to Efrain Morales. Down the left side for Chongqui. Gordon making a run. He'll receive it from Dom. Ashton with the cross, sliding effort from Neri. He just can't quite get to it. It's put out on the far side by Basabe. Corner Atlanta. Brilliant play from the two youngsters from the Atlanta Academy. Chongqui to Gordon. Nearly found Neri, all under the age of 20. Atlanta can't find the combination. Gordon will leave it for Aiden Torres, who has the longer throw of the bunch. Efrain Morales going up into the 18. Torres, he will launch this into the 18. Almost to the 90-minute mark played. thrown in, headed on by Okello, but caught by Jensen, and he falls to the ground clutching it. Miami will play it long. Javier Armas wins it back. Drop back to Efrain Morales. Over to the left to Caden Moore. Atlanta's got to get forward, and they got to go fast. Here's Dominic Chongqui. He turns, walks the tightrope, carries it forward. Pass inside behind Herlock. Almost got to Gordon. Miami's going to clear. Caden Moore called for the foul. It's over the head of Cooper Sanchez. Javier Armas will bring it down. Forward to Cooper. Cooper hacked down. Another nasty challenge from Miami. Show a yellow card and it means nothing at this point. Another just dirty challenge in the midfield from Miami. Hate to see that element of this game creeping in. That one's on Ledesma. A wild challenge. Free kick Atlanta. The clock ticks away. If time is not added back on, you should have an extra minute for the 2 yellow cards that have been shown. We'll see if that happens. Hibbert will run it down the middle third. We're still playing. We're past the 5. Puts it down the middle. Ledesma finds it. He picks out a pass down the left. Santiago Morales breaking in. Hibbert trying to get back to the 18. Stephen Herlock chases all the way back to prevent the shot and wins the ball back. Aiden Torres dispossessed on the far side. Miami put it out for a goal kick. Atlanta will take it. How much longer will they add? They are adding time. Full credit to the referee crew for doing that. We're into the 96th minute. Javier Armas breaking up the left side. His pass blocked by Ledesma. Cooper Sanchez will knock it back to Caden Moore. Back to Sanchez on the left. Forward to Firmino. He turns. He's got Chongqui down the left. The cross into the 6 and caught by Jensen. And that will do it.
So that's your final score. We'll go over the standings coming up in just a little bit. But Maddie got to catch up with Captain Javier Armas and head coach Steve Cooke after the match. Here's their conversations after the loss to Inter Miami 2.
All right, I guess first question, overall thoughts on how the game went and everything with the result.
Yeah, I think it was much better than the last games, especially at home. It's very important for us not get a score on, especially early on. I think they didn't have a lot of chances and they executed very well that chance that they had. And I think we fought during the whole game and we didn't give up. And we showed we wanted to show the fans that even though we're not going to get in the playoffs, we're still fighting and we're fighting for this club. And I think, I leave the field with no regrets and with not a terrible feeling of the team.
I want to ask too, you've kind of taken on the captain's armband role. Mm-hmm. For the most of the season now. What was it like stepping into that role for you?
It was very good. I love it. I think I've been a captain in almost all the teams I play since I'm very young. So I think it's a skill that I have within myself. I just love to help people, and now that I'm a little bit older than other young people in here, so it's good that if I can help them with something, and it's good for them also to have someone that they can ask questions and things like that. So it was nice for me to have that role.
I don't know if you've played in every single game mm-hmm. for the 2's, all 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot, especially the feeling of just being healthy, being able to play every single minute is something amazing. As a soccer player, sometimes we don't value it as much, sometimes we lose. In the last games, for example, we're losing the last games and I'm frustrated and I'm mad, but at the end it's okay, I'm able to play every single minute, I'm here, I'm playing, I'm fighting for the team, I'm so grateful to have this opportunity and it's just a blessing.
Looking at the season as a whole, what are some of your biggest takeaways from the season?
Biggest takeaways? I think that this team is able to do great things like we saw, I know this year was a little bit challenging with a lot of different player comings and a lot of changes in the club and things like that, but I think this team is able to do great things, when we are all together, when we are in the same page, and we have a great, I think, good chemistry, between all the players, good relationships, and the coaching staff is great too. We are blessed to have that coaching staff. They are amazing. They help us just a lot and they push us too. So I think the biggest takeaways is as a team just then I think we never stop fighting.
That'll be my last question for you. I mean, what has it been like to really get to know everyone in this group and really become a team and really in a family almost with all of you guys?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. At the same time, it's sad because now that it's professional football, you never know what's going to happen next year with a lot of players, So it's not like college that I played 4 years before, or like academy player that you're almost with the same group for a lot of years. So here it's just so nice to get to know different people, and also sad to see them leave,
I guess starting, what are your initial thoughts headed out of this match?
Controlled the game throughout. I think they've had one shot and it goes in. I think obviously the ball behind us killed us, and the space is way too big. No pressure on the ball, and that's what happens. I think it was a great finish from, I think, Carmichael for them. Really disappointing to give that goal away then, middle of the first half, when we were actually playing really well, creating so many chances, ball wide, creating 2v1s, absolutely dominant with the ball, getting in the prime assist zone, playing crosses in, nobody there. I think that was the frustrating part tonight, is that we put in so many good attempts to score and we just couldn't get a touch on it. Players not there. And I think that's the frustrating part tonight. I think we've played well enough to score 3 and 4 and 5, but that's why the big guys get paid the most money, because they stick it in the net when they get one chance. So that's the frustrating part. But the reality is, players fought extremely hard. They kept going throughout. I think there were some good performances from a few guys. A couple of the young ones at the end getting on and doing a good job. And so, I think the overriding feeling is thanks to all the fans for sticking with it and coming out and being part of what we do here with our young players, and seeing the development of the group and the club. And I think without them, it's not really professional football. So I think to them, I think the biggest compliment goes, because it's not easy to come out on a Tuesday night and watch a reserve team, and credit to those guys. They come out, they are with us all the time, they support us no matter what, and I think they're the ones who deserve the most credit tonight.
I will ask, I don't know if you knew, a fan was brought up to do the PA announcement for you guys today.
Wow.
Yeah. What initial thoughts about the PA announcement? Did you hear it or not? Focus on the game.
I would love to say that I pay attention to that kind of thing, but I don't. But let me tell you, he was fantastic, and I can only say great things. It was amazing, even though I didn't quite know that. So, but yeah, I obviously when games are about to kick off, my head's usually in a different place altogether, but I don't usually hear anything, if I'm being honest, other than my own voices in my own head. But yeah, good for that. I'm glad that happened, because that's a cool way to end the year with that.
Looking at this season as a whole, what have been some of the biggest things that you have learned and the biggest takeaways from this season?
That you can dominate as many games as you want. You can have the ball, you can create opportunities, you can do well in wide areas. We're one of the best teams in the league in that kind of regard. But if you don't have people who can score goals, it's going to be very difficult to win games. And I think we often in this league, there's some high scoring games and that kind of thing. And obviously tonight we Kareem's our top scorer, he's suspended, so that is difficult. But I think throughout the year is really, I don't know whether you learn about the players, you learn about them. That's what this is for. You give the young players an opportunity, you give them a chance to shine, to be themselves, to be part of a professional group, and with a chance to have an opportunity to go forward. And I think that what we do learn is about them and which players can stand up. I'm going to sound like a broken record. I thought Dominic Chonkwe was great again, and that's quite a few minutes in a row now. And that's several games now where he's been very good. And I thought the first team players that came down, Matt Edwards, Ephraim Morales and Nick Firmino, were a big piece of what we did tonight. So I think you continue to learn. You always reevaluate. You always look at the players and see what they're doing, and some surprise you and do exceptionally well, and then some you want a bit more from. But credit to the players. It's not a lack of effort. It's not a lack of passion from them. It's not anything like that. It's we've lost tonight because they scored one chance that they had and we couldn't score ours.
What has been it like watching this group really connect and form these relationships and be a cohesive unit on the field, especially from the beginning of the season to now seeing them now? Like, what has it been like to watch that?
Really cool, because I said this yesterday actually in a meeting that this group of players have been so enjoyable to work with. They've been so committed to the game and to working and to each other. They're just a really good character, personality group. It's always been a pleasure to work with them. And they come all the time. They always, for the most part, they have a smile on their faces and they get to work and do a really good job. And that can be a Monday morning early, and we're early at the training ground, and some of them stay late as well. And we, a lot of days where we've been with each other probably more than our families. A lot of times of the year when you do that. And this group of players have been nothing but exemplary in how they've behaved and how they've acted with each other. And I think as a coach, that is something that's really gratifying, because without that it can become a long year. But they've been terrific, and we've got one more game to go, so I don't want to let them off the hook yet. But we have another big game in Philadelphia on Sunday.
And then to wrap up the broadcast for the last home match of the season, here's Jason's thoughts on 2024 from the home perspective and what we've been able to watch and see here in person and be able to tell you about here on the SDH Network.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Stadium here in Kennesaw for the final time in 2024. Atlanta United 2 fall to Inter Miami 2, 1-0 in the home finale in MLS Next Pro this season. Ryan Carmichael's goal was the difference for Miami. That came fairly early in the match. A good start for Atlanta United 2. They were unable to find an opening. The game started to turn as the night went on, and Miami ended up getting that goal. Get the final stats for you here in just a second. A wild second half. Atlanta threw everything forward, but they weren't able to find it. Carmichael's goal came in the 32nd on a pass from Nicholas Sesak. Got to it first as Hibbert was a step slow to come out for it. Carmichael was able to put it over his shoulder and into the back of the net. 9th goal of the year for Carmichael. 7th assist for Nicholas Sesak. Final stats, Atlanta outshot Miami 22-6. Now, only 6 of those shots were on target, so that's 6 saves for Cole Jensen in the clean sheet. 1 save for Jaden Hibbert, only 2 shots on target for Miami. Atlanta had 5 shots blocked. They had the possession advantage with almost 100 more passes than Miami. Atlanta passed at 90.4%. Miami at 89.8%. 7 corners for Atlanta, none for Miami. Atlanta had the crossing advantage, a lot of it coming from the left side with Dominic Chonqui, 11-6 on crosses. Fouls 15-10, and that picked up. 15 of those were called on Atlanta, only 10 on Miami, a bunch of those at the end. 4 yellows to Miami for those 10 fouls, only 1 yellow to Atlanta, and that was Noble Okello getting that one. A frustrating night for Atlanta United 2, who played better than the result. I think the stats show that, but ultimately it's about finding those opportunities to get on the score sheet and put the ball in the back of the net. Atlanta was unable to do it. Looking down on the field right now, as a lot of the Atlanta United 2 players are honestly in the stands, signing autographs, taking selfies, taking pictures with folks. A good turnout here in Kennesaw to support Atlanta United 2 and see them off for the 2024 season. One big issue tonight was you missed the firepower either from the starter or off the bench of Karim Tamimi. He was suspended due to yellow card accumulation. He'll be available again for the regular season finale on Sunday. That will come in Chester, Pennsylvania, as Atlanta United 2 will face Philadelphia Union 2 in the regular season final match on Sunday afternoon. We will have radio coverage, as we've had all season long, on the SDH network. That will start 30 minutes before kick. Game is set for a 3 o'clock start, so we will start at 2:30 as we watch that one with you from Subaru Park. Tamimi walking off the field. He's going to sign some autographs, I'm sure. It's been very cool to see this group this season. It's been a fun year for Atlanta United, too, watching the growth of this team and so many individuals. We could run through so many storylines here as we wrap up our Atlanta United 2 home coverage for the 2024 season. Just a couple that I wanted to highlight. You look at the individuals. I mentioned Tamimi, 9 goals on the year, 1 away from getting into double digits. Would love to see that for the 28-year-old from France. He's had a great season, gotten better in his second year as a pro, was good last year, has been outstanding in 2024. Javier Armas has also been outstanding. He's played every minute of every match, 7 goals, 2 assists on the season, but more than that, controlling possession and wearing the captain's armband for this team, being a leader that everyone has rallied around. Mentioned players who were missing tonight. Eric Centeno has been missing for a while after an absolutely horrendous challenge that ended his season prematurely and was not called by the referee in that match. One of the more frustrating elements of this 2024 season was losing Eric Centeno. Had a chance to talk to him last week. We'll have a feature on soccerdownhere.net later this week on Centeno, what he's meant to this team, what he's meant to this group in particular, and what they've missed with him out. And it's been substantial as he's been very, very good at right back in 2024. 4 assists in 15 starts for Eric Centeno. Dominic Chonqui, his emergence, 2 goals right away after jumping into the team. Ended up 16 games up to this point, 11 starts. He's been one of the revelations for this team in 2024, as has Alan Carlton. 3 goals, 3 assists, really coming into his own, looking like an incredibly confident player. Carlton has taken a big step forward this season. Luke Brennan with 4 goals for Atlanta United 2 in 12 games this season. That's seen him get more time with the first team, played 45 minutes at Red Bull Arena on Saturday night in first team action. Daniel Russo, an injury very early in the season, what could have been for him. He had an assist in his 2 games, only got 135 minutes on the field. Hopefully we see Russo fully recover and get back on the field in 2025. As you guys know, this roster always turns over a good bit. We've gotten to know a lot of these guys over the years, and it's always been a pleasure covering this team and getting to tell their stories. And as you know, we try to keep you up to date with what's going on with these guys when they do move on. Guys like Aiden McFadden, who's gone on to Louisville and turned into a little bit of a folk hero in Louisville with Lou City. A great move for him. Philip Goodrum there with him now. Guys who have moved on with our old friend Stephen Glass in Memphis. Jackson Conway in Charleston this year. We will keep you up to date on the stories of all of these guys, but this 2024 season for Atlanta United 2, it's been a special one. I said it earlier tonight. This team, since the last long break, coming back into July, it's the best we've seen an Atlanta United 2 team play on the field. The results haven't always been there. They've been there in a lot better margin this year than they have in some previous years. But overall, the quality of the performance, the quality of the development of these players, and the quality of the people that have worn the Atlanta United 2 badge in 2024, it won't be forgotten anytime soon, not by us here at the SDH Network. Big thanks to everybody with Atlanta United all season long, especially Will Jarrett on the comm side for helping arrange all of our coverage of this team in 2024. Can't thank Steve Cooke and Jose Silva and Lewis Sharp enough for taking time to speak with us. Can't thank the players enough for taking time for interviews, taking time for box-to-box shows, taking time to have a chat with us. Thank you to all of you for sharing your stories with us, and hopefully we have been good stewards of that on your end.
All right, so let's break down how things are in MLS Next Pro and how it is in the Eastern Conference specifically, with 1 match remaining in the regular season for Atlanta United 2 after the 1-0 loss last night at the Fraction. So your standings in the Eastern Conference, Philadelphia is in second place. They are in the postseason, but they are 2 points behind with 2 matches to go involving FC Cincinnati and Orlando City B. That's who is above and below them heading into the last weekend for Atlanta United 2 in their last match of the year. FC Cincinnati 2 at 51 points, 26 matches played. Philadelphia Union 2, 49 points. Orlando City B at 46. They have played 27 matches, as have Atlanta United 2. So Philadelphia Union 2, they have 2 matches to go. Paired with FC Cincinnati, 2 points behind. Orlando City B, however, can only max out at 49 points. They cannot get to the 2 seed. Philadelphia Union 2, FC Cincinnati 2, they're battling for the number 1 and the number 2 in the East. Inter Miami 2 after the win, 2 matches to go. They're at 45 points. They've got a little bit of breathing room involving them. NYCFC 2, Columbus Crew 2, Crown Legacy 2. They each have 10 wins and 26 matches played. Now you're down to goal difference, which NYCFC 2 has, 6 better than Crew and Crown, and they've also scored 5 more goals than Crew, 10 more goals than Crown. That's why the 5, the 6, and the 7 are how they are. Now the fun part. It is Chicago Fire 2, 2 matches to go. They're at 41 points. That's your playoff bar right now as it stands. Carolina Core at 40 points, 11 wins, 2 matches to go, ahead of Chattanooga FC, who cannot get the tiebreaker because they can only max out at 10 wins. They can, however, continue to win out, try and surpass Core and Chicago Fire 2, and could max out at 46 points. Red Bulls 2, they have a chance still. They are the last team in the Eastern Conference that can go from below the playoff bar to above it. They need to win out and get a lot of help at 36 points right now. They're in 11th, eliminated from the postseason heading into the last week of the season. Toronto FC 2 at 34 points, Atlanta United 2 at 32, Huntsville City Football Club at 26, and the Revs, Revolution 2, 22 points and 26 matches. Just to remind you once again, Sunday afternoon, 2:30 pregame, 3:03 kick, Atlanta United 2 in Chester, Pennsylvania, taking on Philadelphia Union 2, acting the role of spoiler and troublemaker for the Union as they're chasing the top seed in the Eastern Conference. Thanks for all of your input. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for all the kind words all season long at the Fraction and Fifth Third Stadium as we've been able to tell the stories of Atlanta United 2. We'll continue to do so, but just after the season's over and after this last matchup in Philadelphia. So for Maddie and for Jason, I'm just John. That's your 2's review for the loss against Inter Miami, and Inter Miami 2, 1-0, the final result against the visitors coming up from Fort Lauderdale for your action at the Fraction one last time in 2024. Play it safe, everybody. Enjoy the games. We'll catch up with you on the weekend with Atlanta United 2 and Philadelphia Union 2 here on the SDH Network.